A beautiful morning to you and welcome to Sport Personality on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Emmanuel Michael. I'm glad to be here this morning to bring you another sport personality, and this time around is another athlete, one who we revere so much and is growing in leaps and bounds in terms of performance out there. But you know how we do it here. I will take a quick break. When I'm back, I'll introduce my guest. Then we'll get to Rumble this morning. Don't go anywhere because it promises to be exciting this morning. living at a high altitude. His family grew maize as well in that very high mountain. As a young child, Keplimo would watch his brother train for athletic events. He was also, or rather, he also traveled by running a distance of 5 kilometers. Keplimo won a selection trial for World Mountain Running Championship in 2015, but was not allowed to compete due to his age. Keplimo then moved to Italy and began competing in its event. After winning the 2017 cross-country event in Uganda, he moved back to Italy. Doc, let me bring you in. From the background of Keplimo, it is very obvious that his family, are athletic inclined, because his elder brother, when he was still young, going to school, he see his brothers, training as well. Do you think that this has actually shaped him to become the athlete that we've seen today?
Yes, to some extent. But one thing you have to understand is that a lot of factors will always come to play when you examine someone's success or an athlete's success. And we can't take away the environment. Now, let's look at his ethnic group. He comes from an ethnic group known as the Senai ethnic group. Within the Senai ethnic group, we have a lot of long-distance runners within the group. And you also look at the environment where he lives. The city he lives is about 1,900 meters above the sea level. Now, within the area he lives is a mountainous area. Now, these are some of the factors that have really played several roles to shaping him to whatever he has become today. And you can't take it away from the people around him. When you live in an area where people continue to do one thing, there's always that tendency that you also key into what everybody is also doing. And within his tribe, we have, if you check the history, we have a lot of long distant runners that have come out from that Senai tribe, which has really motivated him from that childhood. And also seeing his brothers, his siblings around. Apart from himself, dancers are making use of what they have while we are here still struggling. So I think the environment really played a role, and also the people he grew up with in shaping him and making him a world marathoner.
Of course, the environment which he grew in actually played a major factor in shaping him to become what he is today, living in a high mountain with a high altitude. But away from that, let's continue, because at the age of 15, Keplimo won the 10,000 meter bronze medal at the 2016 IAA World Under-20 Championship behind a fellow East African Rogers, Kwemoy and Aaron Kefo. He ran 5,000 meter in Rome with a time of 13 hours, 24.40 minutes, which was a qualifying time for the Olympics. Keplimo was then selected for the 2016 Summer Olympics. Before the 2016 Rio Olympic, he improved his 5,000 meter best to a time of 13 hours, 19.54 minutes. As the youngest entrant to the competition, he ran in the Olympic heats only, according to a time of 13 hours, 30.40 minutes for 11th in this race. He was the youngest ever competitor for Uganda at the Olympic Games. All right, Doc, let me bring you in once more. Won a bronze medal at the 10,000 meter, then did pretty well for the 5,000 meter as well. But then, because of his young age, at some point, they dropped him. He could not go for the Olympic. Do you think that...
I think it wasn't the Olympics, because as at the 2016 Olympics, he was the youngest, though he didn't participate further. But I think he really did a lot for himself at that age, for him to even have been recognized, for him to be part of the team, even if he didn't participate. But if you also look at his career, you understand that at a younger age, one thing that worked for him was that he always worked as a team, and he looked at what his peers were doing to also learn from it. Then he has also worked under several coaches from that young age, and he tended to blend with each of the coaches, and each of the coaches were able to at least impute something that will actually make him move to the next level.
He was the youngest entrant
Okay.
for Uganda in the Olympic.
Olympic. That's what I was trying to explain.
Okay.
So at that age, because if you check in Nigeria or elsewhere, it is very, very difficult for somebody of 15 years to really go into the Olympic. But he, because of the kind of talent and the kind of commitment he has, so he was able to gain entrance. And as at the age of 15, he has already started winning laurels. At the age of 15, not just at home, he has also started traveling overseas to compete in events. So that was why he was given that opportunity to be part of the Olympics. I think Nigeria can also borrow a leaf from that and see how we can catch them young and start grooming them from the younger age.
Nigeria can also borrow a leaf from that, but then we leave that topic for another day, because if we delve into that very area right now, we might not leave this morning. But at the age of 16, Kiplimo won gold in the men's under-20 race at the 2017 World Cross Country Championship in Kampala, which is that is in Uganda, the country's first ever gold medal at the cross country, covering a time of 8-kilometer course in 22.40 minutes. He won the San Silvestre Vallecana 10-kilometer road race in Madrid in a time of 26.41 seconds on December 31st, 2018. The course had an elevation drop, making it ineligible for world record status. He continued to blaze on. Despite his young age, 2018, he never slowed down this growth. Now, what do you make of this growth? Is it about consistency? Is it about training? Or you think there are other factors? Is it about their, the government support?
It's not just about the training alone.
Okay.
Now you talk about commitment. Okay. You talk about tutelage. He worked under Alex Malena, Sackett, Bernard, Robert Chamons, a lot of coaches. So these are some of the basic inputs that helps to build him. He said each time he got injured, what motivates him? He tried in such a way that he talks to people and people will motivate him. He tries in such a way that he tries to put the injury behind him and work hard to get to his feet. I think these are some of the motivation he had. Now, another motivation he had is that within the environment where he grew up, he saw a lot of champions. District of Senate region of Uganda. He took it upon himself that he too will be among the champions. It's not just about watching them or one thing, but he worked hard towards it. I think hard work also paid for him.
Hard work also paid for him. But let's talk about his achievements this time around, because at the Uganda Cross Country Championship in 16 February in Tororo, Kiplimo defeated Joshua Cheptegei by placing first and second respectively in the men's senior race over 10 kilometer. Kiplimo won by 11 seconds lead over the 10,000 meter world championship runner-up. At the World Cross Country Championship in Aarhus, Denmark, Kiplimo finished second in the senior men's race of 4 seconds after Joshua Cheptegei's winning time of 31.40 seconds. He won the gold. Cheptegei.
In an interview, he said his greatest rival is his brother, Cheptegei, and of which he doesn't just see him as a rival, or he doesn't just see him. He see him as a motivator. He saw him as a mentor. He saw him as someone he could look up to. Sometimes when you look up to somebody, there's always that tendency of you trying to surpass. There's the idea that say our fathers will always say, let their children be much more than what they are. And I think that is what he tend and he did. That's why he was able to always compete. Although at most occasions, an established athlete will always come out tops. But that sense of seeing himself from a younger age, now coming up to compete with somebody he used to look up to, will always bring out the best. And I think that was what happened to him. Today, we are discussing him not necessarily because he didn't achieve anything, but because of so much he has achieved, even when he had somebody that was up there against him. So we shouldn't take away that hard work and his commitment to becoming a champion.
Of course, hard work and commitment will actually produce a positive result, which propels you to become a world champion. But moving on, Keplimo, I did not run in the time of 42.59 seconds, a new course record, with Keplimo finishing in 43 seconds, just a split seconds away from catching up to the winner. This time around, despite the injury worry that he actually went through, yet he came back even much more stronger. On the road to success, he must certainly encounter one or two difficulties, but he did not allow the injury to weigh him down.
Now, persistency. Now, most times, worries, troubles are the needed ingredients that will propel you to the next level. The injuries are there. Now, what should rightly come to of an athlete who wants to be successful during the injury period is, what preparation do I make to ensure that I get to the next level immediately after the injury? I think that was actually what Jacob Kiplimo was doing, and it worked out perfectly well for him. Even with the injuries, while on injury, he's already preparing for the next event. And if you watch him in interviews, you will understand that this man is a man that has already pre-planned what is going to happen for him in the future. So he's look at
what he's done, despite the injury woes, yet he bounced back very strong, very energetic. And doggedness brings to you out there when you continue to persist. But moving on the 8th of September, Kiplimo won a 5,000. That is in check 3 seconds, and improved his personal best of 13 hours, 13.64. As Lemon Barreta was the runner-up with a time of 12 hours, 49.08 seconds. Very well. Now, this man, despite the challenges, despite the
a man that has been built to actually achieve a lot of success. Now let's look at his build first of all. Now the man weighs has a height of 1.75 meter, which is quite an enormous height, and he weighs about 56 kg. Now if you check the height and the weight, it doesn't really correlate much. At least it should weigh up to 60 to 65 at that height of 1.76 meter. But you now see that because of what he does, that has really made him to shed more, about 5 kg or thereabout weight, which is an important factor. Now you see that in as much as there is always that occurring injuries, he can easily come out of it, and when he comes out of it, there is that that ease in also trying to get back to his feet. So he has been a persistent person in all he did for cross country and long distance race, of which we cannot take anything away from it. It has to do with his person, it has to do with his build, it has also to do with his vision and his mission for the sports he has chosen to do.
Moving on the 21st of March 2021, Keplimo competed at the Capaccio cross-country race in San Giorgio sul Legano, that is in Italy. Despite falling during the 90 kilometer of the race, he won a 10 kilometer with a time of 29.07 seconds. Ethiopia's Nibret Melek finished in second position, and Keplimo's younger brother, Oscar Chalimo, finished third. On the 19th of May, Keplimo returned to the track, racing in the 10,000 meter at the 60th extra golden spike. He pulled away from Bahrain's Buhanu Belewi to win the race. Keplimo finished in a personal best of a 23 minutes 33.93 seconds, which made him the 7th fastest 10-kilometer performer of all time. and the second fastest Ugandan in history of the distance behind world record holder Joshua Cheptegos in a time of 26 minutes 11.00 seconds in that very one. Now, in the 10-kilometer marathon, he failed, yet